gonna read the books that Varian offered me.
Oh yeah, we should get Rakesh for that.
So let's go to Rakesh then.
Rakesh,
He closes the book he's reading.
Varian holds up the Heatbreakers book.
Well, what are we doing now?
Cress wants to read it.
Okay.
Given the contents, I told her that we would ask your permission first.
Come sit then, I guess.
Cool. And she's gonna sit down right next to him. And extends her hands to Varian to give her the book.
Give her the book.
Do you do it on top deck?
No, I would have been below deck, so it would have been just below deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crest too, because it would be too cold for her on top deck.
That's why I was asking.
We should also talk about the bell.
Oh yes.
Let's read the book first, then we can have a separate conversation.
Sure, it's not like we're gonna do anything on our way anyway.
Okay.
Would you like us to tell her what's in the book, or do you want to do it, Beggar?
Which book?
Heatbreakers.
Heatbreakers book.
You should do it, probably.
Okay, cool. So, in the book...
Seeing as I don't fully remember.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Becca. I know your pain. It's fine. Anyway, so in the Heatbreaker book, there is a symbol on the back of it, slightly different from the Coldbreaker. It basically just has like a bunch of information on the missions they've gone on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has a description of Rakesh and Serenity, like what they look like, who they are. And then it has next to it has like a little bit just underneath that has Rakesh's name, and it says "Destroy if necessary, intelligent but reckless." And then in what do you call it? Like brackets, it says "Trap?" ? And then Serenity's has the same thing, and then it has Serenity, codependence on brother, upon brother's death, chaotic behavior. And then it also has something about the Heatbreaker's next deployment, which was extremely important cargo from Acre to Wavebreak, and they were supposed to intercept and provide support for that. And that's basically the entire...
They have a pretty good description of you in here, Rakesh.
Uh-huh. I mean, you know this by now. We did used to work for the Iron Republic.
Yeah. Would have
They
been
know
weird
we
if they
are.
knew nothing about you. Yeah, that
No,
would have
they
been
know.
weird. What do you think this thing means? And she points at the trap part.
I haven't worked that out yet.
Maybe that they're thinking of trapping you to control Serenity.
I mean, no one can control Serenity.
They obviously
Fair
think
point.
they can.
Well, then they'd be wrong, wouldn't they?
Doesn't mean they don't think it.
And anyway, they may just kill me.
But I think it's kind of interesting that they have very specific description and plan for you too, but they don't really have, like, you don't have a bounty on your head. That's kind of,
Yeah, I don't, which is strange to me. I don't
yeah,
know
strange.
whether that's because they want to kill me or they're trying to keep something under wraps.
Because they clearly know you and they clearly want to use you somehow. And it's
Yeah.
weird that they wouldn't try to get their hands on you too with a bounty.
There was that thing that the one guy said back in the mansion about you.
When?
The one that poisoned himself or whatever. Before we could talk to him.
Sorry, you'll have to jog my memory.
He said that you were talented or one of the best, or implied clearly that he was familiar with you, or that the Iron Republic was familiar with your abilities.
As I said, I used to work for them.
I used to, quote unquote, work for them. Pretty sure we did different things.
Yeah, very different things actually. We're magic users, you're not.
Well, he kind of is, a little bit now.
Not back then, though.
True.
Whatever, I'm not gonna push, but I'm not gonna stop the others from pushing.
Oh yeah, by the way, Varian, did you see the chest where the bell was in?
No.
Because
What about it?
I tried to open it with Rakesh, and I look at Rakesh, and there was a snake on top of it.
You didn't see that.
Oh yeah, it was only him. I didn't see anything.
Only I saw
It was a
snakes.
very nice chest I saw there.
Speaking of the chest
Uh-huh.
and the bell,
Right.
gonna tell us anything?
About what?
The bell.
What does it
It's in the
do?
book.
Yeah, it's in the book, but it doesn't say what it can do.
I don't know what it does.
Can't you just like
You ran
magically
it.
study or something?
I
Before
read
you
it
use
did
it?
nothing.
If you didn't know what it did, why did you ring it as soon as you touched it?
Just felt right.
You could have hurt yourself.
Yeah, but I didn't. I'm fine.
You dumbass. You could have seriously injured yourself.
Let me ring it too.
I don't think we need to do that.
Why?
It doesn't do anything.
In the book it describes my magic kind of, so maybe I can trigger it.
When I rang the bell, it did something to my head for a few seconds and I got a headache. It hurt quite a lot. I don't recommend anyone else doing it.
Are you okay now?
I'm fine now.
Varian looks very concerned for her.
So-
See, this is why I didn't tell you, because now you put on that face, and now you're going to worry about the fact that I got a headache for the next however long.
It has to have something else to it.
Of
Something
course I'm
else that-
Why
fucking
would it
worried
why
about
would
you.
it just cause a headache?
I mean, it's obviously something else, but it's not something that we should tamper with right now. Don't
What
you
if
think?
it... Okay, but we need to talk about the headache because what if it comes back to hurt you later?
I mean, me and Chris get headaches all the time anyway.
That's not an excuse.
Well, if it comes back, I will deal with it.
How?
I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
God, you idiot. We fucking need you. Why do you keep doing this?
I'm not going anywhere, Varian.
Not willingly.
Not unwillingly either. I'll be fine.
Sure. Whatever.
Trust me on this one. Nothing's going to happen.
You can't promise that.
I can. Not to us.
I have watched every one of you go down in at least one fight.
I'm a wizard, not a warrior, Varian. If you let things hit me, then I will go down.
How am I supposed to protect you from getting hurt if you keep taking reckless actions like sneaking off without us and ringing magic bells that you don't know what they do?
I mean, part of this also sounds like it's describing yourself.
Yeah.
So we should
no.
all maybe we should all reconsider our actions and work like as a team. We should do more instead of everyone their own thing.
We need to talk about teamwork, I guess.
Yeah.
And how we haven't been the best at it.
Just imagine how we would do with teamwork.
That does need to change. I'll be the first to admit that. But it means everyone, and I mean everyone, has to come on the same page.
Yep.
Fine. You get people and we'll talk about teamwork or whatever. Just if anything happens, let us know. Don't fucking collapse in the bottom of the ship and not be found or whatever.
Oh, I'll let you know. I don't particularly plan on dying anytime soon, so
No one plans on dying, it just kind of happens.
it won't happen to me.
Sure. Just gonna leave them with the Heatbreakers book. Go off somewhere else. I don't know where. Somewhere.
And there he
Wow.
goes.
Well, that happened. How do you feel today?
Do I still feel tired? Did I get more sleep now, Beggar, or...?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've finally recovered from that annoying sickness.
Well, that's good.
I,
I'm
uh,
glad.
I really had trouble sleeping for quite a while, but it's good. It's all good now.
Great. Good for you.
How bad was the headache when you rang the bell?
Yeah. I've had worse. It wasn't too bad.
If it wasn't too bad, I still think we should try it out
You
again.
think we should ring the dangerous bell again, Chris?
I mean, the dangerous bell that did nothing until you already rang without thinking about it.
He kind of thinks about it for a second. You know what? Just for you. We'll take it out. We'll pass it over.
And she takes the bell like it's some kind of treasure, very gracefully and very cautiously.
Ring it once. No more.
Kinda looks like a normal bell.
Yeah, try it.
And she takes it and gives it a very slight ring.
Only you hear this, Cress. Gnawing at the back of your mind. Growing louder and louder. Taste. Taste. Eat. Consume. Consume. Power. Eat. Consume. Taste. Consume. Take power.
Consume.
And then nothing.
Get anything?
This is not what I would describe as a headache, per se.
What did you get?
A whispering voice.
A whispering voice.
Something about power and take it, and sounded like some weird demon trying to make a deal with me or something.
Oh, that's funny. I'll take it back.
Alright.
Why is it funny?
No, it's a weird bell, right? It probably does something different to everyone. But if you're getting, consume and power like a demon speaking in your head, maybe taking it from, the demonologist, you should be ringing the bell.
I mean, that's fair, but it's just weird.
Do you ring the bell?
because
Absolutely
it's,
not.
because it's some kind of shitty demon. Doesn't seem to know what I really want, so...
No, I assume if this entity, and I'll put the bell back away, knew what you wanted, it would tell you. Obviously, it's just, it's probably, most likely, some leftover energy from some incarnate entity at some point that tries to
Can I make
lure
an
in the room.
insight check if he's actually meaning this?
Oh,
Go
give me an
fucking
insight
ahead.
check.
What did you say? Go
Give me an
fucking
insight
ahead.
check.
Just to see if there's a little bit more. Well, let me see, what do I have in inside? Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
Oh, it's just a 9.
Nine.
A 9!
Yeah, be good.
He's hard to read, this Rakesh, this demonologist.
I mean, he's also a demonologist, so he's probably
He
right.
seems earnest, but he also seems like he's spitballing, so... Not exactly sure
So
if
but
he
he's also
knows
Rakesh,
exactly
so...
what he's talking about,
Mm-hmm.
but his...
He is spitballing.
It sounds very professional.
It doesn't sound like he's outright trying to lie to you.
What if someone rang it who doesn't use magic?
I don't know. Personally, what were you getting in your head again?
What was it again exactly? Something about power and take it.
Take
Awesome.
it, consume.
Take it,
power.
consume power, yeah. Take it, consume and power.
Well, it didn't come through very well, unfortunately. I
Yeah.
need to raise the volume on that.
It was, yeah, it was just,
It was...
it was hard to hear. It was like it
Yeah.
was from a very, very far distance, and the only things I could make out were, yeah, consume, take it, power, something like that.
Well, maybe such an item preys on the feeble-minded, those who want more than what they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people fall victim to it. With
Yeah, but
suffering.
I mean, it's
something
telling me like take it, power, blah blah blah, but it doesn't tell me how, why, where. Like I'm not more. If even if I said yeah, sure, give me the power, nothing would happen, I guess.
But Chris, that's enough for some people. You tell them it's powerful, and they go straight along with it, no matter the consequence.
Let me see. What was the name of that thing again? Maybe it can tell us something. The bell. The bell is called the guest
The guest invitation.
The guest
yeah.
invitation. Does that somehow ring a bell? Does that mean something, or would that make sense? The guest invitation.
I mean, it's definitely inviting if it's offering you power, don't you think?
Yeah, sure, but why guest? I feel like there's more behind that, but we just don't have all the pieces to puzzle it together.
I agree. And I think when we are stronger and more capable, maybe we ring the bell again. See what happens.
I figured out what Varian was doing. But towards the end of this, or sometime, Varian's gonna come back to talk to you too.
Okay. I wanna address something with Cress real quick first.
Go 5
So this box, and I'll pull out the box that was with the bell beggar.
Mm-hmm.
Is it openable?
Not immediately.
Okay. I think it interests me. And I'm sure that it will interest you as well, Chris.
I mean, it's a closed box. I'm always interested in what's in there.
Yeah, I think I'll try to identify it, and we can go from there.
Sure.
But I'm thinking if it comes to researching it, would you like to join me?
Sure.
Great. Maybe together we'll figure something out quicker.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. I'm going to identify the box.
Well, the box gives off faint magical energy, but it doesn't actually seem to be the magical part of whatever you're holding. It seems to be more inside.
If I look around the box, like trying to find either like a puzzle on the box or like an opening to open the box, is there any way I can open it?
Nope.
No. Great. Okay.
This is a weird box. If you can't open it.
We can try different things during the week, I'm sure. Maybe pumping some magical energy into it or something will do something.
I mean, I can always play the song, you know.
You could play the song, actually.
We just have to wait the other. We just have to warn the others because it's always so loud. The knock.
Then they'll all want to join in.
Oh, that's true. Maybe. Oh, maybe we can. You know, we could find some different chest where there's just some delicious food in there, and we can just say I wanted to open that instead of the other box. So
Yeah,
if they come, then, or we just gonna tell them it's gonna be a loud knock now, and
Yeah, we
because
just
one
tell
of the boxes in the lowest thingy is jarred and we can't open it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah, we're gonna tell that the others now.
Yeah.
So if you hear it, just in case you hear a loud knock, we're just trying to open one of the crates, which is kind of stuck.
Yeah, one of the crates is stuck. We're just trying to open it. Don't worry about the knock.
Okay.
I mean, Varian's coming back soon anyway. All he went was to go get a book, so.
So yeah, we go downstairs, I guess there. So it's not that obviously that we're saying bullshit here, and just find a place between the crates down there, I guess, and so
Put
we're
the box on the floor.
and I'm gonna play the knock song. Knock
Well,
knock, who's there?
As you play and cast the knock spell, the box flies out of your hand with a loud
shit.
knock and hits the floor. But it does not open.
What the hell?
That is weird.
As you look at it, Rakesh, you see a small, almost like a plume of smoke, flat on the side of it, just like color.
Like, one
Below.
of the sides got coloured.
Yeah, well, there's a thin black smoke cloud that billows for a second before it vanishes.
Oh, shit. I pick the box back up and look over it again. Has it gone back to normal?
Yes.
Well,
Did you see that?
certainly opened something, I guess.
Okay. I'm gonna try something else real quick. I'm gonna try and use... okay. So, would I be able to use minor illusion in a way that I kind of encapsulate the box in an illusion, and then try and like almost just mold that energy with the box?
All right. What does the illusion look like to everyone
Just
else?
like a web. It looks like a web.
I like webs.
I hate webs, but it doesn't look like a spider web. It looks like a web, like of string.
More like a net then.
Yeah, like a net.
Well, you
close
see
enough.
Rakesh look at the box, and suddenly there's a thin net around it.
Oh, it
Where
is.
the net surrounds the box turns a slight gray.
You see that?
Yeah?
And this is when Varian comes around the corner.
Oh, I put the box behind my back.
Varian's holding the Voice of the Gods book.
Mm.
When he comes back over.
And Crest just tries to open a jarred chest that's just some random chest he sees there. And tries to jam it open. Finally got it.
Varian just gives her a weird look.
What's in that chest, by the way? What's in the chest Crest just opened?
Well, you are in the mid deck, so probably just some hammers, some nails, some fixing supplies.
Yeah, and she just takes a hammer and a nail and just nods and yeah, this is what I was searching for. Just
Aha.
completely terrible, terrible performance there. So
Anyway.
what about the book? Yeah.
I've been thinking, and I sort of have a theory about maybe potentially what Godfall was after,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I just want to bounce it off of someone. So I asked for information on Dermont, but before he was a pirate captain, because I wanted to know it. I knew it was a long shot, but I wanted to know if he was infamous for any sort of magic before, because I had been thinking since we learned about these and way back when that maybe the Iron Republic was after these instruments for whatever reason. And then we found the Willow Maria, and it had one of them, and this obviously said that one of them was on there. So maybe it is so maybe that's what they were doing. They were going after one of these instruments during Godfall.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's a long shot, but Dermont wasn't. Maybe they just kept it under wraps, but he wasn't known as a mage, and especially wasn't known for creating storms before he became a pirate captain, which was after Godfall.
Yeah.
So, what if they found what they were looking for, and it went horribly wrong? And he's gonna open it up to the Chime of the Storm page.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big fucking leap. I don't know if it's that one. I don't know if it's one of these at all. Like I said, it's just a stupid fucking theory. But maybe that's what Godfall was. It was a first attempt to get these. Or maybe they had them before. I don't know. I think Dermont still has it, though. Whatever was obtained at Godfall, I think Dermont now controls it. Or is followed by it, or something. Maybe he's just powerful. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, because I mean the IR also had the Leviathan's sepulture. That's what I guess at least the bell was. And I look at Rakesh. When we first met,
What now?
Ooh,
Oh.
you guys
the
are
bell
really
in the
robotic.
city. We are
You mean the one
robotic.
that we destroyed and threw into the ocean?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Did we really destroy it, or did we just throw it into the ocean?
I mean,
Well, you cleft it in twain. You threw two parts of the bell into the ocean.
Mm.
Is anyone else having issues?
Right
what kind of
now,
issues?
the robotic
No.
sounding voices. No.
Well, I can't understand anything of what was just said. Jesus fuck.
I can boost my volume a little bit.
Oh, there we go. No, everyone was super robot-y.
Oh, well, that's just
It's
Discord
okay now.
sometimes.
Okay, it's fine. It fixed itself now. Can we repeat everything of what we said after I finished this little thing?
Yeah, I just said that that the IR also had the Leviathan's sepulcher, which was the bell in our first session we found, and which we threw into the sea. And now they also had the guest invitation. So if we think about the storm sage, about the person who holds maybe the chime of the storm, then and we already had 3 of those instruments somehow connected to the IR, and that would be way more than just a coincidence, I think.
It would be so
My
much more
question
than a
is-
coincidence.
Did it just go wrong? Or did he...
Betray them?
Also, isn't he now after the horn of the Einherjar, which would be the 4th of these instruments involved?
Varian looks kind of angry.
Hmm?
Then I guess we find Dormont before he finds the horn.
If
Yeah.
he intentionally caused that storm,
So, and
It
the
had to
horn,
be an
the horn is
accident, right?
supposed to be able to lift any curse. So who knows? Maybe,
a
Maybe he
curse.
considers himself cursed.
yeah, that maybe he
He
considers
hasn't- if
himself
he-
cursed, or maybe, yeah, something happened that he considers to be a curse, and he wants it lifted or whatever.
Varian kind of pales a little bit.
Why?
Oh shit.
You
It's
know something?
it's nothing. It's no, I don't know anything. That's the problem. It's just a memory of something said to us.
Which is?
You remember that ghost thing in that house? And I, when it recognized me, I mentioned that, I accused or went off or something about Dermont leaving my father to die, and it said that it didn't think he was dead, but it bet that he wished he was, and something about screaming, and a weird, I don't know, it was really hazy, and I kind of didn't pay as much attention as maybe I should have. It's probably nothing. It's probably not what it is. I don't think Notorious Pirate Captain would care much. Maybe he is cursed. Maybe it's not an instrument.
After reading the book, I was really excited to get one of those into my hands, but right now
Why would you ever want to touch one of those?
they sound
They should be
like they're
destroyed.
good, useful things.
Just because you play music, Crest, does not mean you should play music with such things.
They should be destroyed.
I don't think you can destroy artifacts such as these.
Oh, just
And they should
imagine
be
someone
fucking
without
locked at the
bad
bottom of
intentions
the
playing one
ocean.
of these.
But everyone ends up with bad intentions, Chris. Power is corrupting.
Maybe the best thing to do is to lock them in a chest with a bunch of bricks and drop them to the bottom of the ocean.
Would you have any objections if I told this to Jet and Serenity? Because I feel like we as a group should all know what we're dealing with here.
I don't know what we're dealing with. That was
Yeah,
this
at
is
least
all
as
okay.
much as we know so far.
We should discuss it with them as well.
Yeah, because I feel like we shouldn't leave them out of this.
Let's go get them then. Serenity!
Jet? I mean, Grizzly?
Christ.
Chad is just spending like the days kind of switching between all of her personalities.
Yeah.
You
Jet
see,
Alba Grizzly Bow?
you see Alba go downstairs, Grizzly comes back up.
No, I just mean like sometimes she's
In the middle of
making
walking
potions
past,
as
you know,
Chad.
at them.
Sometimes she's sailing as Alma.
Like every time you lose just the slightest sight of her, she's already a different person.
Also, whenever we gather like this, Opali seems to listen, so I'm gonna take a look out to see if she's doing that again.
I mean, probably can
Sometimes she's like
listen in if you
looking
want.
like Rakesh to make Vilda laugh.
Well, you see
very
Opali
annoying.
sit at the table where you usually have your breakfast. She seems kind of cold, but she doesn't seem to be listening or be in eavesdropping range.
Not like they're not gonna find out.
At some point, we should ask her. If she's from the north, maybe she knows something about the Horn of the Einherjar.
It's almost like I wanted to get to know people for some reason.
People are overrated.
So, shall we invite the crew too?
I don't fucking care.
What do you mean you don't fucking care?
I mean, I
You
don't
obviously
fucking
cared.
care. Yeah, but since when do you guys ever listen to me?
I mean, back then you were feeling sick all of a sudden, so we didn't gather.
Press, I swear to... I swear.
What?
Are you actually
Sure.
this naive? Are you fucking with me too?
What is going on?
Make an insight check. I'm gonna go to Opali and ask her. Come around.
Serenity,
Well-
come down to the deck with us.
She is down technically.
Hi, where am I?
She shivers as you come closer.
Why isn't she?
Aren't you from the north? And she's shivering too.
Yeah, it's still cold.
I get you there. We want to talk about some important stuff. Want to join us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why don't you two grab blankets or something? It's not like people are using them to sleep right now.
Oh yeah,
Even more blankets.
gave mine away.
You gave yours away?
He points upwards.
Baron's gonna go get his real fast.
Upwards to Aranil or upwards the stairs or...
Well, just straight up.
Okay.
Baron's gonna go drop the blanket around her shoulders and then come and sit back down.
Thanks.
What about Vilda?
Well, I don't think she needs to know. But if you wanna go get her, go ahead.
What's going on?
I mean, she's with us. She should know, I guess.
Are you
Fine.
still holding the box?
go get
behind
her.
you,
Oh yes, Rakesh is still like trying to hide the box.
I put it in my pocket.
I'll go get Vilda wherever the fuck she is.
Did you put it in your pocket before Serenity came?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
Ah,
that sucks.
sadness.
It's okay.
Hey.
We'll get to see what it does soon.
Vilda and Isaac were talking more about stuff going on, and maybe you guys should come.
Boring. She does, however. Come along. And you've noticed that Isaac has stopped smoking on the top deck. Instead, covered in his winter clothes, he's looking out of sight one of the portholes. In this cold weather, you notice Rakesh, Cress, and that Serenity's wind feels a little warm in this cold weather.
Oh, fun.
I'm just
Vilda is
trying
sort
to
of
get closer to Serenity and stand next to her.
stretching out her hands as well, holding them into Serenity's direction like she's a fire.
Holy fuck.
What are you doing?
Jet, would you mind? And I'm just gonna squeeze by Jet and get close to
Can
Serenity.
I cast Detect Magic?
You're kind of warm.
You don't know that she has wind, mate.
Yes, I do. We
You
literally
don't
talk
feel
about
it.
the wind
Oh,
all
we
the
talked
time.
about the wind.
She
yeah.
knows about it though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't feel
so
it.
seeing this, I'm just gonna do. Varian's been planning to do Detect Magic around Serenity to see if he can test the wind for a long time. I've just never had the time to like say it.
I've already
So-
done it. Just gonna point that out. I have already done that.
Yeah, but I haven't done that. So fuck off.
Serenity's looking weirdly at everyone getting closer to her.
So I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and see what I can feel.
Jet can't feel the warmth, right?
No.
He's looking weirdly at Serenity too.
Well, your understanding of magic is a little different from everyone else's. You don't really feel anything or see much, but you can tell that thin strands that run through everything. It's like there's a knot where Serenity is.
Varian's gonna like squint at her.
You see
let's
Varian squinting at you, Serenity.
What?
That's so fucking weird.
He calls
Well,
you
that's just
fucking weird.
rude.
No, you. Vilda, can you sense something off of Serenity? I think it's the magic.
What's wrong with my magic?
Oh, no fucking shit.
No,
Have you
the-
just caught on?
It's the magic.
Varian's gonna
That's just
glare
like
at Rakesh.
rolling his eyes.
No, I think it's the. Well, it doesn't seem like wind to me, so I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. What
It's
wind?
magic. She has a magical wind.
It's not. What wind, though? There isn't wind.
That's because you're not a magic user. You're not connected to the foundations of magic.
Fuck you.
Just saying. That's how it is.
So
We
weird.
are.
So that feels like wind to you.
Yeah.
I can't feel it.
She can.
That's so. That's really interesting.
Are you feeling warm though, Serenity?
Do I feel warm?
Not particularly.
No, not really.
Hmm.
Do you feel warm?
I'm freezing right here, but next to you it's a little bit less terrible.
Oh, it's warm wind.
Yeah, you're like a fire. Oh.
Oh.
What does that O mean?
Oh. I need to write something down real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Why don't I like this O?
Just fill us in, but that's not gonna happen.
What are you writing down?
Do you really think he's gonna tell you?
Well,
It's worth
I'm
a
gonna
try.
ask at least, so no one can say I should have asked.
I need another nap.
Serenity just
anyway,
gonna sit on the floor.
what were we
Anyway,
talking about?
What were you writing down? That you wanted to tell us that right now.
No, I didn't.
Dang, I tried.
I'm making observations in my head. I'll tell you when I have a full theory. It won't really make sense to you right now.
I mean, you could. You never know.
It really won't.
You
Trust
know,
me.
we just talked about maybe teamwork and stuff like that.
Teamwork?
Yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of why
Rakesh
we
was
were
even
meeting
the one-
here.
Rakesh was even the one to suggest it.
Yeah, we should
See how long that lasted.
we should even do way better in fights if we had some more teamwork going for us.
Okay.
Told you.
I died for a second. Sorry, guys.
It's fine.
So you're just taking digs at you.
Okay, that's fine. That's all good.
So you want to work as a team?
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Huh.
because last time it was a close call, and I feel like as a team we would have done a little bit better.
You act like we don't work as a team often.
We're a pretty good team so far.
All of you need to stop focusing on the failures and the negatives.
Yeah, we're good at
of this.
spontaneous teamwork when it happens, but maybe if we like plan more as a team and fight more as a team, maybe we could, you know, get the few percents better than that.
We've been planning as a team for a while now.
Yeah, well, which of these plans has gone as planned and has been agreed to upon? And
I don't think the teamwork is the problem with our plans not going to plan. If anything,
Yeah.
I think it's literally everything else. Like unexpected giants, or
Pretty helpful.
mansion ghosts, or crashing into the Willow Maria, or Rakesh getting kidnapped by smoke, or, you know, there being more guards in the place that we were aware of, or elementals filling a mansion, or spontaneous towers full of bees, or getting swallowed by giant bug creatures. I don't think any of that was in any of our plans, nor do I think it was anything that any of us could have planned for.
We should start planning.
Alright, Serenity, what do you think our next disaster is going to be?
You.
Yeah, that is fair.
I don't count. I'm constant. We already know I'm a disaster. I meant outside of the team. Thank you.
That's it. Not more of a disaster than here. And I like look at Serenity and Rakesh.
Anyway, so
Me?
we do need a plan. We do need a plan for going into the giants, whatever. We don't get to just win off of luck continuously.
so, Opali, have you ever heard of the Horn of the Anharia? You're from the north, and I feel like the story is based in the north mostly.
Oh, all the time.
So
It's just
you have
folk
some more
tales.
details. Yeah, tell us some details, because it seems like these might
It's
be
real.
more than just tales.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's like asking about childhood stories.
Well,
It's,
guess what? It's
I
real.
mean,
and
we
you
just
like
met a
it.
frost giant, so
That's true.
Because right now a violent pirate king is after that horn for unknown reasons. So,
What, the guy you're hunting?
yep.
the Storm Sage.
And he might already have another one of those types of instruments.
I
Potentially.
mean, you never know how much of children's tales are based in reality. It's kind of like just hero tales, a valiant warrior defeating a dastardly Hydra, that kind of thing. I don't really remember that many stories.
Same.
So they didn't really... So you can't really remember what it's supposed to do if you had the horn in your possession.
Oh no. Didn't think that would ever be important.
Yeah, fair.
Most of the
alright.
stories are just about, being a brave warrior, teaching kids, kinda.
Hmm.
Zelda, Did you ever hear anything about magic instruments?
No.
Worth a shot. Good talk.
Yeah, and I guess we're just gonna tell everyone about the instruments and what we know so far about the instruments and which kind of instruments we guess the Iron Republic has and the Storm Sage has and we have. And yeah, all the
Oh
stuff.
wait, we're telling them my crazy theory.
Yeah, I mean, it's a theory. We tell them it's a theory, but
We tell them it's a terrible theory
It's
that's
a
probably
game
shit.
theory.
yeah, we're just so everyone is in on this. So
But he will add, but my theory's probably super wrong because I don't know why my father would have been brought along for that, so it's probably not it.
Instruments, huh?
so we still
That's
don't
crazy.
know. So I don't want to be.
Oh, what if you play all of the instruments together?
That's
The
not
world
gonna
probably
happen.
ends.
It's gonna be a concert of doom.
That would be
Wait.
fun.
Just, I'm gonna go back to
Hilda
the book.
smiles at you, Serenity, as you said that. What did you say you were going to do, Aspen?
I'm looking at the book again.
Oh.
Artifacts of the Herald of... Okay, so... Okay, so if these are supposedly, you know, there has to be a reason this is called the voice of the gods, and there's the thing at the end about the Herald of Fate. Maybe all that god stuff is bullshit, but if you look at the instrument's magic, it's mostly world forces, like wind and storms and water.
Mm-hmm.
What if having, maybe not using them all together, but having control of them would essentially allow you, if you could control all of them, to change the way the world looks.
That would be creepy.
Not like an illusion though, like you could change the actual face of the world, like the land and the water.
Yeah, that's. I think it's creepy. I'm kind of afraid of something like that. That were to fall into the wrong hands, would be terrible. Let's just say maybe the names of the instruments. Is there like a god that's called the guest or something? Maybe there's like a catalyst god, a guest god, stone. Wasn't there like one of them was called Storm, and what were the names of them? And I mean, Einherja is also like a mythical warrior. Maybe all of these are kind of connected to some kind of deity or something. I don't know.
What, do you think they're used to summon the gods or something?
No, but maybe it's just that's why they're called like that, maybe.
Well, yeah. That seems to make sense, but also you shouldn't say that. It's bad luck.
What? That a storm is gathering out there? It's a normal word.
Yeah, but you weren't talking about the word. You were talking about, you know, the being, which isn't real, but still, superstitions, you should respect them.
What?
That's kind of weird.
Little bit.
What? Respecting superstitions is weird? Have you looked at our life recently? We are talking about children's myths and finding them.
Uh-huh.
We literally have in our possession a myth, and you think superstitions are weird.
Uh-huh.
Depends on the superstition, I guess. But yeah,
You have
let's just
like-
not call him and make you happy with that.
This group stresses me out so much.
I was so close, so close to do like storm, 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 oh, but I'm not gonna do it.
I hate you.
That would have been funny.
With a shoe or something.
Like storm, storm, storm. What do you
What
think
was
is
that
gonna happen?
friend?
Storm, storm, storm. And then we're looking outside, and the storm is gathering. Yeah, like that.
Beggar, that better be a joke. I swear
That's a
to God. Varian fucking needs a nap.
Okay, so Jet, what do you think about all this? You're the one without magic, so maybe you have a look on things we don't, or something.
I don't have magic.
Probably not. I don't understand most of this.
Me too.
What part can we clarify?
Everything.
Okay, so you remember the bell, the first bell?
Uh-huh.
Yes, the one in the burning city.
Yeah, the blood demon bell. Yeah, that one. We believe that was this one, and he'll point to the Leviathan sepulcher in the book. We believe that bell, if assuming all of this, let's just suspend disbelief for 5 minutes and assume that all of this is real. Fuck, I never thought I'd say that.
I don't think that's too out of the...
It should be.
with all
But-
we have seen.
So we believe that it's that bell. I have a really shit theory that's probably super incorrect, that the instrument, that what they were after in the Godfall mission, that the ghost man, Dermont, the blood mage man whose name is gonna escape me, even though it wouldn't have escaped my character, and my father were on, that potentially they were after the chimes of the storm, because I have potentially bad intel, but potentially good intel, that Dermont did not have this ability to control the storms that he wields now before he became a pirate captain, which was after Godfall. All of this could be really bad. I don't know how good the information I have is. There's not a lot of it. But it's potentially a theory. And also we know that the Iron Republic had possession of the bell that Rakesh now has, because we found it on the Willow Maria and the journals and everything that we have from that. So we believe that, I think at least, that at least Dermont and the Iron Republic are in some kind of arms race, but with instruments of mass destruction.
And this spell that Rakesh now has is one of those...
Potentially, I don't know. I haven't seen it do anything, but it is mentioned in the book as, which one is it? The guest invitation. Apparently it was discovered in the Foglands. Varian kind of shrugs. And it was being transported on the Willow Maria, which disappeared. Does that say the fledgling Iron Republic?
Yes.
How old? Wait, does that journal have a date?
No.
This just fucking hit me. And
Oh
Varian
no, it does
does.
have a date.
What's the date?
It probably says in that. Wait, which journal?
This one.
Yeah, it probably says at the. Yeah, year 556.
What year is it now?
Well, looking over
forget.
here at this nice calendar, the year 576.
Wait, that makes no sense. 50,
20 years ago.
20 years. That's fledgling Iron Republic. It's talking about. Is it talking? Varian's like talking out loud, by the way. Like, this isn't just me. Fucking Varian's like spitballing out loud. Oh, there goes Layla. Rip her.
Layla!
My
Oh.
computer keeps dying. Sorry, guys.
You're all good. You can still hear me, so it's fine.
You can always
That's-
tune into AspenFae's live stream.
No. My entire network died.
Oh, God.
Ooh. Do you want us to wait for you, or shall I continue my
No,
stupid
continue,
rant?
continue.
Is it talk? Yeah, Varian's just like rambling out loud. He's like, is it talking about when the takeover, when the monarchy fell? Fledgling Iron Republic. It's not talking about the creation of the country, because it was a long time ago. It's talking about the new leader. If it is mentioning that. Anyone can join in. Varian's just fucking rambling.
Wait, and we do know that Dermot was a normal like sailor, and then Godfall happened, and then he became.
He was a
pirate.
lieutenant in the army.
Oh,
In the Iron Republic army, actually.
and did he knew your father before that? Or then before God?
I don't think so. I mean, I'll admit I didn't know much about my father's life, professional life. I was 10.
Yeah. Of course.
I mean, sometimes I'd sneak into meetings, but never something like that.
And we think that this Godfall thing gave Dermot power, control over the weather.
I think so, which could be completely fucking wrong because the Iron Republic is very, anti-magic, so I don't think they'd be advertising that they have a very powerful mage employed, despite the fact that they very obviously do employ mages.
Oh, you guys don't know about that?
Of course I know about that.
Do you know how many mages the Iron Republic has?
No, I just smuggled magical shit for them sometimes.
I'm going to tell you now, it is a lot.
Great.
And when I say a lot, I mean a lot.
Like an army of magic users?
Maybe not so much anymore, but when we were kids.
What do you mean not so much anymore?
Shit happens.
So
There
helpful.
was a problem, and one of the academies was destroyed. So I don't know how many of them they have left.
How long
Probably
ago
still a
was
fair
this?
few. Kind of thinks for a second, like trying to actually trace back how long ago it was. 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh shit. I was like right before I left.
I don't know if you heard of it, Varian.
Did I?
Well, do you give any details on on the kind of catastrophe it was?
Nope.
Then,
Told him there was a destroyed academy.
well, wherein you've never really heard of any of the academies.
Was it an accident though with the
Kind of
academy?
mutiny.
I mean,
No one really knows what happened.
what kind of catastrophe or disaster are we talking? I've never heard of these academies before.
Of course you haven't.
Was it like a fire or like a...
No, I honestly myself, I couldn't tell you. Something went crazy.
something.
A lot of things went crazy my last
Like, I don't know, a
week or so.
demon or something.
No, no, no. Like, the whole place just started going up. Probably other magicians, is what I'm thinking.
To be honest, I
So-
didn't exactly spend my last year in the Iron Republic taking that big of jobs, except for the last one I took. But I spent a lot of my last 6 months just trying to get out.
Maybe it was some kind of inner struggle, or some
Yes.
experiment went wrong, or I have no idea about.
Neither do I. Neither do any of us. I'm sure the people that were properly there could tell you otherwise, but...
So, Isaac, maybe you have studied on a magical academy.
Yeah,
You know, the magical pipe you're wielding.
I am the Archmage.
See? Told you.
Whoa, what?
It would have been so funny if that was actually like the truth and he's just
He
fucking
looks
with
at
us.
you, Serenity, confused, as if you didn't get sarcasm.
I look back confused.
So, Isaac, I don't remember if we've talked about this, but where do you come from? Where you're from?
Out and about.
What?
I've no real home.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I also don't have a home, but do you know where you're born? Where you've spent your first years?
Somewhere around Ecuador.
Hmm.
I never stayed long in one place.
So
Hopping
basically
ships
close
here
to
and
where
there.
we met you.
Yeah. I guess life takes you in circles sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hope not. If I ever go back to the Iron Republic, it'll be too soon.
No kidding.
Depends on how many ships we can burn on the way.
Which I guess is, actually it's kind of sad, I thought about going back, if only to see my father's old, workspace, but guess that'll never happen.
I mean, if there's no one left there for you, there's no point.
There's no one left for me anywhere.
You have Marius.
And I
You
would
know what,
totally
that's true.
disagree too.
Let's just hope Compass
us.
doesn't get there.
And you have us.
I do. Maybe Mel's out there
And
somewhere.
you have Hilda.
That is included in us.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, we came here to talk about strategy, not to get all touchy-feely with who I have involved in my life, so...
I mean, you wanted to get us know each other
Speaking
better.
about touchy-feely,
Mm-hmm.
Grizzly.
I'm
Not
dead.
kidding. Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Leave my gay out of this.
Don't stop objectifying Grizzly.
Okay, but have you seen that art?
I'm sorry.
You asked for it.
Beggar made that.
I don't care.
I mean, he is an absolute unit. He's
You
weak
don't
as
know
fuck, but he's
how
an
much
absolute
time
unit.
I spent on that. Finding the right.
At some point, I'd like to have an arm wrestling contest where we just find out that Grizzly is just as weak as we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's nice to look at, so like, does it really matter?
Well, here's the thing. When you arm wrestle with him, he stuns you to be weaker than him. That's the
Yeah.
secret.
Oh, I see. He just
He's
disrupts your
so attractive.
concentration.
Natural
Yeah.
charm person.
Like while he's arm wrestling with his right arm, he just suddenly flexes his left arm a little bit, and you look there, you lose focus, and then wham! Yes.
I see.
All right.
You like get blended by the shine of his muscles.
He flexes into the reflection.
Mhm. He's so objectified by now.
Doing
You
the
know,
chaos.
he's actually like his description is that he's really hideous and scary looking with all these scars. So,
Beauty is
It just
in the
makes him
eye of the
manly.
beholder.
It just makes him even more manly, the scars.
Yeah, that's subjective.
Yeah, beauty's subjective. Some people like a pretty face. Some people like extremely muscular people.
lots of battles.
You don't want to know what people like. I've seen a lot of that in my
Some
days.
people like stupid
move
nerds.
So,
Says Opali.
Why were we talking about this again?
I don't know, someone brought Grizzly up.
Because Beggar brought
I
Grizzly
was
up.
wondering what you were doing.
So,
And
oh
you
yeah,
can
we've
actually
also
get the
found
top
one
of
of we have also found one of these instruments on the ship, on the ghost ship, and we have it here, but we don't know what it does. That's the problem, but we have it.
Have you played it?
Yes, Rakesh played it right after we found it, remember?
Oh yes.
And I tried to get Rakesh to look at me for a second.
Well, have you tried playing it more?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
'Cause it hurt him last time.
So he can take pain.
No, that's not the point.
Is
We shouldn't be
Rakesh
putting each other in
looking?
reckless danger.
It's not that reckless. He doesn't.
It's
seem
a
that
little
hurt.
bit reckless. We don't know what it does.
We can figure it out.
Is Rakesh even there?
Yeah, he's just sitting crossed arms.
Well, no.
Does he take a look
Serenity.
around? Because Crest kind of tries to get his attention
Yeah,
without
he's
anyone
around.
else, without anyone else noticing. And she's basically like nodding and shaking her head and tries to see which one would be. So basically, she asks you if
He
it would be
slowly
okay.
shakes his head.
Okay, if it was okay to tell everyone that she also rang the bell.
Slowly shakes
Okay,
his head.
okay.
Hey, wait. This bell is one of the instruments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Pretend.
And there
Very
are...
likely.
Do we know how many instruments there are?
Only the ones listed in the book. There are more than we're not sure.
And how many are listed in the book?
Very several many.
Yeah, and in the end, it also says it's delving deeper into the culture of the North and their use of rune-carved instruments. So they are probably mentioned more, but not just written down
10.
by Beggar.
And these instruments are like very powerful magical items.
That's what's said, at least.
And Dermot is after the instrument.
Supposedly.
I mean, at least we
Wow.
found out that he's after the horn of the Anharia.
We don't know if he has any already.
No, we don't know. We don't actually know anything. All of this is hearsay based off of legends, a book, and the fact that we ran into a ghost ship and happened to find a bell that doesn't actually do anything.
And also have
It was-
seen one bell that has been mentioned in the book before.
Weird.
And we are trying to find Dermot now because
We were hired to. By Three Hawk.
And
Because-
we have also some personal questions, I guess.
What personal questions do you have?
That's why I said we.
what the
We-
hell is going on?
Baron's just
Are
gonna
you
look
trying
at
to-
everyone else.
What?
Well, we could ask him if he's after the instruments, or what is going on, or what happened with Godfall, or yeah, or a lot of questions.
Since he's a
Ask.
very famous, powerful, notorious pirate captain,
Murderer.
murderer, and whatever
Whoa.
else. Probably, maybe. We,
What
yes, maybe we can ask him, but there's also a good chance that he doesn't care. Just remember, like,
He
people like Black Tarek, who's
I
like,
think he owes
just
me some
one of
fucking
his-
answers.
Black Tarek was terrible and almost killed us if we hadn't freed him, so I don't know if his boss is, like, much nicer than that.
He owes me some fucking answers.
What does Rehawk want from Germany?
They don't want anything from him. He's just our closest lead.
Well, you know that he probably knows the identity of the traitor.
Mm-hmm. I
Because
know,
the
but we can't say
captain-
that out
yeah.
loud. Remember, we signed an NDA.
Yeah. Well, I think Jet would technically know.
Mm,
Like,
Yeah.
you all heard of it.
us five.
I'm just assuming that you just OOC just didn't fully remember.
Yeah. Well, the giant did send us to talk to someone, so just fucking hope that Dermont talks to us.
So, Opali, are there any mentionable what's the word? Worth of mentioning? I don't know. You know what I mean. Cities up there in isolation. Are there people living there? Important places we should know about? Do you know
Isolation?
anything? Yeah.
Not really. It's an ice waste. The only real civilization up north is Coldspire.
And how big is it? Judging by the map, it seems kind of huge.
What, Coldspire?
No, isolation as a whole.
I don't know. Well, I can only judge from the map, just assume.
Yeah.
Never been there.
And we're
Not
supposed to
really
be on
anything
like
there.
on an island there, or what? What did he say? The ice giant on an island north of isolation, or was it on isolation itself? We should go. What did he say, Jed?
It's on like the beach, one edge of the beach or something.
Well,
At the
Rakesh,
beach
Jet,
of a
What?
continent, huge
that's a
island of
question for
ice.
you two. The others didn't understand what the giant was
right.
saying.
So where
The
exactly on
giant-
isolation?
Said. Oh, you.
Bless ya.
Yes.
I said 4 times what. When
It's
I
like a
mentioned-
beach on the east or to the left or something.
Said the second bay on the north of the island of isolation. You'll see a lone tower reaching out over the coast.
Okay. The second bay.
Fuck did my brain translate the number 2 to the word left?
Okay, I guess a huge tower should be obvious enough.
Oh, don't say that.
We should ask for Volkar and tell him Hifnadar send us.
Okay.
Say that name again?
Volkar and Fifnadar.
Fifnadar?
Yeah, Fifnadar was the guy we met, right?
Just making sure I'm saying it right. Okay. Oh, Volcar. That's very different from what I heard.
Volker.
Der gute Volker.
I
Good
heard
old Volker.
Faulkart, like Faulkhardt,
Oh.
which is
Sorry,
Uh,
my pronunciation is so
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I was just making sure that it was indeed.
It's not your
that.
fault that the words are weird.
It's not your fault that you have.
Yeah, Beggar,
an
give us
accent.
some better names.
Okay, now everyone is just Frank and Peter and stuff.
Alright.
Like Bob the
Who was it
second,
before
Bob the
that none
third.
of us said her name right? The woman who got
No.
who got axed recently. Carillon, was it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Carolyn.
From now on, I'm calling Fair's characters all Steve. So they. Steve, anything else to say? Steve?
No,
Hello,
I love your
Steve.
name.
Steve send us to find Steve.
We like the name
Fucking
though.
Steve.
We like the name.
It was just that one name. Okay, maybe I fuck up names all the time, but so we're just going to a place where no one knows anything about, but an ice giant sent us there to send us regards. Maybe to another ice giant, who knows? The name sounds weird. So maybe this is the home of giants, and maybe because no one knows about this island, this is the place where they live.
We do know it's the home of giants, don't we? Because the name was said.
Yes.
Okay, it's the home of giants.
If you say this like this isn't how this entire job has been going.
No, it's just I try to...
That's probably the least weird part.
Mm-hmm.
You act like one of us didn't get kidnapped and end up in one of the most secure prisons that we know of.
No,
Like,
just
Two of us
sometimes
don't have
I...
absurd magical abilities.
Just
that we know of.
sometimes I just have to say things out loud, you know, for them to become real in my head. Don't
This
judge.
has been the most weird, horrible job I have ever been hired for. Like, honestly, I've been on some odd jobs. This is the weirdest fucking job I have
I mean,
ever experienced.
one of my first jobs ever for 3Hawk was meeting you guys, so it never
yeah.
felt different.
Well, you're like a child, aren't you?
I'm 19, I'm sorry, I'm not a child.
Oh, you're
Yes.
very young.
I'm also like a lizard folk, so I grow up a bit faster.
I mean, I was 19 when I went to Compass, so... Or around there, I think, at least.
So yeah, but I haven't been with 3Hawk for that much of a time, so
Am I the only... You remember when I said we're all professionals and everyone got offended that I called you a professional? Am
Yeah.
I the only professional here?
Professional criminal? Sure.
yeah.
Eh, depends what you class as a criminal.
I've been a professional musician before, but other than that,
I meant a professional in a career that, you know, often saw combat and this type of stuff.
Oh, then no, not at all.
What did you guys do before this? You said you were
Are you really
travelers.
going to ask that again?
Before you didn't give an answer.
What do you think we were doing all that time?
I mean, if he knew, he wouldn't be asking.
I mean, this is one thing that I haven't kept secret. Considering that... Look, Serenity, do you know what I'm talking about? If Serenity knows what I'm talking about, it means you guys weren't paying attention.
You were an academic.
Yeah.
You traveled around. You were in hiding.
Hiding is not... I mean,
You have saved your sister from something terrible, and now you're running away
no,
from the
put it
Iron
this
Republic.
way, we were part of the Iron Republic. What of the Iron Republic? They're court.
I literally have no idea what the fuck you just said. That last word.
The court?
They're court.
A core. I thought you meant court, like at the King's Court.
Every person you have seen that has been a mage, what have they been doing?
Usually trying to kill us.
Mhm.
Exactly. Ah.
So they were trying to kill you, so you ran away with your sister.
No!
Oh my god.
I think I get it, but I really want to hear all the rest to get it, so just continue.
It's all you're idiots. You're
I
all
understand.
idiots. Took you long enough.
Whatever. I'm sorry.
Sometimes I don't understand why you all have to be so cryptic.
I'm not cryptic.
I'm not cryptic.
I wasn't trying to be cryptic. I was trying to let you get it on your own, Cress.
Cress, did you get it?
Isn't that kind of the definition of cryptic?
Is it?
I mean, I've told you before, multiple times.
I'm just wondering why why there are so few straight answers in this group.
I've literally given you a straight answer. Oh, no,
Well,
that's not true. I've almost always
It's
given
kind
you a
of
straight
the
answer.
fault of the group not being exactly straight. Heyo.
Hey.
There we go!
Thank you. Thank
Quality content.
Half of us straight, though.
No.
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 Well, you can't really say with Jet at all.
I mean, no one knows about Cress.
It's very fluid.
Well, now I want to know, but it doesn't fit into the conversation.
So suddenly, like,
It wouldn't make
I
sense for
think-
Barry to just fucking blurt out, hey,
I
Cress, are you straight?
I feel like Jet is the definition of gender fluid.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I really want to know. Thanks, Alaban.
But we don't know if her changing her gender does change anything about her sexuality. Well, let's talk about something else.
well, it has to, because if she's straight as a girl,
Mm-hmm.
then she would be
I'm bringing it up now.
homosexual as a
I'm bringing it up.
boy.
I want to know. Barry's just gonna like study Jet for a hot second.
Why me? Why not Cress?
Because I need to ask you first that we get on the topic, and then I can ask Cress.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Jet, have you been able to do that your whole life? The transforming thing?
Oh my god, he's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Oh,
What the fuck does? Excuse me, Rakesh?
Have you been able to do that your whole life?
Like, has she been aware of her ability to do it forever?
Ah, it hurts my brain.
Well, then,
So maybe we let Rakesh answer this question then.
No, this isn't mine. This is hers.
even I find that embarrassing.
well, if they let me finish my that being a transition question.
I don't find it weird. Yes.
And your personas are... They're... Explain that again.
Well, they're just. What do you mean?
Like, you're you in every form, but they have different names.
They're all. I'm all of them, but they're also all different. Hard to explain to people who only have one person.
So they're all part of one bigger picture, but also have their own will, kind of.
Well, like, you change
Yeah.
physically, but do you change mentally?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how completely, though?
Well, Grizzly is much braver than I am, and Alba is much um
Ruder? Or abrasive?
yeah,
Kind of a
confident,
dick.
and she also knows she's also better at sailing. I'm probably the best at healing. Bo is good at talking.
But do you change on, like... How physically and mentally do you change it? Do, like, the most ingrained parts of you change?
Probably not. We all have like same core.
Same what?
Core.
Oh, core. So, like, beliefs, maybe not opinions, like, tastes, or, like, in preferences, stuff like that. Is that all the same?
Yeah. Like definitely the same core belief.
I'm trying to think of something that's, like, this is still very annoying. I'm trying to think of something that's, like, super ingrained that I can ask you, like, if it stays the same to, like, prove what I'm trying to ask. Because I'm just, like, curious how different you all are. Do you all have the same sexuality, I guess? That's a good question.
Ooh.
I'm gonna turn to Rakesh, and in Infernal, I'm just gonna say, I think Varian's trying to fuck Grizzly.
I also think he's trying to fuck Grizzly. We'll all
No.
understand the word grizzly.
Grizzly.
Uh-huh.
Just gonna glare at them.
What about Grizzly?
I guess
Nothing.
so. I mean, I'm not sure I have like a preference for any of my
Alright, fair enough. I was just trying to find something that is pretty ingrained in people so I could figure this out. Thanks, guys.
Well, we all think that that violence should only be
Oh no.
well, just to explain, like one of like something we all share, like should only be used as a last resort, but Grizzly will use it much sooner.
I also
Or-
feel like your fighting
he's not
abilities
as-
are very similar.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't change my physical strength or speed.
What do you mean
for
it doesn't
example-
change your strength? When I look at you and when I look at Grizzly, it seems like he could lift like 10 times the stuff.
That's mostly just.
Oh,
Huh.
oh.
You could have said that. No, never mind.
That's not as fun.
Well, I can't make myself stronger. This is still. I can change how I look, but I can't change what I actually. I don't know.
You want me to OOC explain it? Because yeah, all of you seem really confused.
No, I actually get it. I was literally just trying to get to the sexuality question.
Okay.
And you made it so hard.
It's just a crass curiosity also. Me as a player, I think I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Chat just for her it's so like normal. She
Mm.
can't really explain how like she doesn't know anything. But yeah, it's just as an example, like we all believe violence should not be used, but if Risley hurts someone, he doesn't he's never quiet than when I am.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough, I guess. I don't know how to work my question organically into the conversation now. That's fine. I'll figure out one day. I'll just cry in the meantime.
No, you had such a good what's it called, like,
I don't know. Nothing about that was good.
you had such a good way to get to the topic, but I just talked more about how Jet messed it up.
Yeah, you suck. The worst.
So, Vilda, have you also been in love? You know, the boy or something?
Yes!
What?
Oh,
Have you also been in
I mean,
love?
isn't she
Who?
isn't she like,
Who else?
no, isn't she like 14 or something?
She's 11!
Oh, sorry, I thought she was 14. Okay, then I'm not gonna ask that question. 11 is a bit early for that. Yeah, I thought she was 14.
I mean, you can ask if...
it's
It's
not
up
too
to you. If maybe Cress thought she was 14.
No.
Like, was there a boy in your home that is now destroyed and you can never go
No.
back to?
Did your boyfriend die?
You really want to ask?
No, no,
No.
I don't.
Oh, I know how to do it. Baron will just look at... Baron will, like, just continue the conversation, be like, so, you... I'm just curious, so feel free not to, like, answer this. I'm just trying to get to know you guys. How do relationships work if you aren't always you?
Well, I don't know. Never had a relationship.
Really?
Not.
Would you like one?
Oh my god.
Listen, this is
Does
really
he say
not
that?
his type. No! Varian doesn't say that. If Apolly or someone else wants to say that, that's fine with me.
That sounded like
Infernal again.
Isaac.
Wow, he's really crying.
Not like in a long-term sense.
Sorry if it's invasive, I'm just really curious.
Oh, it's fine. I just don't know how to
up,
talk about
Serenity.
this.
I said nothing.
Your giggles were enough.
I said nothing.
What about you, Serenity?
What about me? You're not Rakesh. What about me? Ow, ow, ow.
You
Fuck.
good, Shane?
I got cramp in my leg. Carry on.
Oh god.
What about me?
Oh, I was gonna ask if you ever had a relationship, but I don't think you have.
Why would you think that I haven't?
He's gonna look at Rakesh and then look back at you.
Rakesh would be jealous.
I just think Rakesh is overprotective.
Well, for your information, I actually have.
Oh. Congrats.
Excuse me?
See? That's why we think it.
He's not looking at Rakesh.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Do I get to know anything else?
Did you murder him in the end?
Damn, Jet.
Him or her.
I was tempted to, but I didn't.
And is
I
this
mean, I don't want to be the person who breaks up
is this
Serenity.
lucky individual still alive?
Hopefully not.
Oh dear. Was it bad then?
No,
I shouldn't ask. Why hopefully not then?
I don't like her.
Fair enough. I don't know. Farron's gonna look at Cress, I guess, now.
finally.
Finally!
It took forever, but listen.
Yeah, you just look at her, or...
Yeah. I mean, he's asked everyone, like, the same question.
Well... I'm not sure about all this. I've been spending my time around a lot of this kind of stuff. So I feel like I'm a bit dull when it comes to this. I don't know. I've never been in any kind of relationship so far.
Fair enough. I imagine maybe you wouldn't want to talk about it, but brothels wherever you were living, was it the Sun Quarter? Probably pretty different from the IR.
I guess so. I've never been in the Aryan Republic to see a brothel, but I guess in their core they're kind of all the same, right?
I've never really been in one that often either. Suppose at their core they're all the same. Workers are nice enough.
I mean, if there's one thing that is basically the same everywhere in the world, it's probably this, right?
Brothels? Or just sex work in general?
Yeah, I guess sex and the work that is surrounded by it.
Yes and no. I mean, I've noticed a few differences between at least like the IR and Compass, but nothing major.
Do we all want to like state our relationship status now?
This is a
Like in a
Wow,
circle?
I'm sorry. I was just trying to get to know
I mean,
you.
it's
I
pretty.
promise I'll
I mean,
never
it's pretty
try
easy.
again.
It's just single for everyone.
You just wanted to know Crash's sexuality.
I did. I didn't even get a fucking answer.
And you kinda did.
Sort of.
Is this all we're here to talk about?
How many people have you slept with?
What was that?
What?
Nothing.
I apologize for trying to get to know you. I'll never attempt to again. You may
Thank
leave,
you.
Serenity.
Stop being so dramatic.
So Serenity, how did Rakesh like your acquaintance?
What?
You know, the person you had a relationship with?
Oh, right. That. How did you like that, Rakesh?
I don't know. How did I like that, Serenity?
I don't know. Would you like to tell me?
Does Rakesh even fucking know who you're talking about?
Nope.
I thought so.
Serenity. Maybe you should enlighten him?
No.
Let me tell you what she's going to say next.
No, I don't think I will.
I don't sound like that.
I don't sound like that.
Fuck you.
I don't know. I feel like since I missed out on all the dick-related questions last time, I'd tease you guys a little bit this time.
Ah.
So, Varian, was
Yes?
there someone within your life, someone special you want to talk about?
No one above ground.
Oof.
Dang.
Lol.
Well, that was cheerful.
So, what about a poly? Just changing changing the subject.
Yeah, so Polly.
She shrugs her shoulders here and there.
Oh,
Nothing
really?
serious.
Casual flings are fun too.
Hmm. So do you like girls or boys?
Men, the big kind.
Ew.
Grizzly, grizzly, grizzly.
Oh.
Mhm.
Who wouldn't say no?
Okay, I'm getting uncomfortable now. I think I want to leave this conversation.
You pussy, don't leave.
Well, what about Eurocash then?
What?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, Rakesh.
What?
Was there someone special?
No.
Of course.
I have. Like, what do you think? I read for a fucking living.
Hey, people can be into nerds too.
Yeah.
Just because you read doesn't make you unattractive.
I don't have time for people.
You can. Oh.
What was he about to say?
You want me not to say that?
Nothing. You don't have to stop reading.
Maybe he's bibliophilic.
This is how Rakesh trains himself to concentrate.
Okay, multitasking. Unbelievable.
Yes, Rakesh, you don't need to stop reading.
Right.
Or you can like read books like The Lusty Desert Rain. Okay.
That book
I
is
really,
trash.
I would prefer not to.
That book is terrible.
I love it. I think it's great.
It's a horrible representation. It's
Of
no
lizard
one
people.
talks like that. It's so bad. Who wrote that?
Fine.
Like, whoever wrote that has no experience.
So. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Absolutely not.
Nah,
Yeah,
trying
please
to
tell
know
us
people.
your life story, Polly.
Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of
Where
time.
were you born? What were your parents' names?
You're so funny, Jet. Ha ha.
The good impression. You just need to add some tears.
Oh, wow.
You know, I was born in Cold Spire. Not much more to my life.
How'd you become a sailor?
Most of my family is hunters in the lodge. I just wanted to do something else.
Fair enough. Hey Jet, what inspired you to leave?
Sure.
Hmm?
Just wanted to see the world.
Do you ever intend on going back?
Maybe. Not that easy though.
Did you say it's not that easy?
Freya?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said
What'd you
that.
say?
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure?
It's not that easy.
Oh, is it a hard journey?
Yeah, you could say that.
Hmm.
All right.
Weren't you from an island somewhere in the Avalon Sea or something? Or do I remember that
Island.
wrong?
Technically.
Technically, you say.
Technically, you could
That
say
just
that.
makes it sound even more mysterious.
And I don't suppose we ever get to know where you two were born.
Serenity, where were we born?
On a ship. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's where I was born too.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
Varian's looking at Rakesh.
Yep.
Yeah, do you want to roll a deception roll, Serenity?
I don't have to.
She doesn't have to.
I
That's where she was born.
Yeah.
I was born on a ship.
That's where she was born.
And that's why Cress's answer was also correct, because she said, yeah, I was born there too.
Wait.
Does anyone here have any happy childhood memories?
Yeah, I do. I like,
I look at Rakesh.
He starts thinking.
Any happy childhood memories, Rakesh?
Yeah, so many.
Would you care to share with the group?
No, I'm good.
Ah, I thought so.
It's either incredibly sad or incredibly strange.
Guess you'll never know.
I mean, it could be both.
It could.
What about the rest of you?
I have.
Tell me something happy about yourself.
About myself.
Or a memory. Fuck this sad shit.
Well, I grew up on a really nice, beautiful island, and
What was it like?
it's well, there.
And you have to really wring answers out of that.
I have to wring answers out of everyone.
Yeah, it's definitely Chet. That's the problem, not me at all. No.
Just describe a pretty island, damn.
Yeah. Well, it was this island, and there was this huge, like, not. Well, it was like a mount. Like you could walk up there, and hundreds of feet beneath you would be the ocean, and I always liked that place.
That sounds really incredible. I've never actually been that far into the wilderness before.
Yes,
the
the
It was only
wilderness.
the monastery.
Yeah, I spent most of my life in cities, so I guess on this boat now. So I guess I can barely imagine what that must be like. The being up high, I understand. I also enjoyed many rooftop nights.
I
in
was
my
never more than 10 feet above the ground.
Are you serious? I was about to say you could see the ocean. I'm like, damn, must be pretty high up. Nah, it's 10 feet, bro.
Like
It's like a small hill.
It was like 100 down the cliff.
Yeah, I fucking hope so.
I always imagined how it would feel if I was a bird just jumping off, flying.
Guess that's a common thought we had.
Oh, I wanted to fly.
I think everyone's wanted to fly at one point in their
Yeah, okay.
I'm working on that.
life. Oh no.
Well, I never expected to walk on ceilings at some point.
What about you, Cress or Polly or Berm or Zelda? Happy childhood memories, fun stories. Tell me
Yes,
something that tells
sure.
me about you.
My favorite part on our journeys was you have to know my parents have been mercenaries for hire on sea, and every time yeah, I was born in the middle of this mercenary group, so I was used to like terrible words and stuff like that. I was always living on a ship as far as I can remember, and the best part was always when the whole crew just got into a new town and just immediately went to visit the tavern and just had like this huge party and everyone was singing and just drinking and just it was like we were just like one huge wholesome family. I loved that.
That does sound nice. Is that where your love of music came from?
Maybe there was a lot of singing even when we were not in the tavern, even on board while they set sail and stuff. They always had these songs they sang together, and that always gave me a feeling of like a connection kind of to everyone. It was nice. I liked it. Maybe that was the reason why I was so connected to music.
That's a nice story. Thanks for that.
What about you, Warren?
Believe it or not, I'm actually trying to sort through multiple big memories. I actually had a pretty decent childhood for the first half. What's a good one? My father was a shipwright, and obviously he designed ships and stuff, but ships go through multiple drafts, and he would sometimes, throw some of his drafts away that were just too scrapped. And my mother was she wasn't a painter, but she loved painting. So clearly having art supplies and old drawings out and a young child, clearly a big disaster. I guess one day I decided that I wanted to be like my parents, and taking one of my father's old drafts, instead of painting the ship like a normal kid, I drew sea monsters all over it, as any good young child will do. And when I very proudly showed my contribution to my father's work to my parents, it spawned the nickname Little Kraken, which my father would call me for the rest of the childhood I knew him, and also caused him to lock the paint cabinets till I was about 7. So
Can you still draw?
yeah, I used to, back before this trip, I actually had a sketchbook I lost, and I'd take sketches of the city and the oceans and just people. It's a big pastime of mine.
You
Yeah.
Like
should
drawing
make one
too.
picture of all of us together.
Maybe I should. I forget the time. I seem to be constantly attacked by something.
Now we aren't. That seems to be the common theme in the group. I really enjoy drawing too, and Serenity as well.
If you can call what Serenity does drawing.
Everyone
Of
starts
course it
somewhere.
is. You don't have to be good at drawing to enjoy it.
I'm good at drawing.
Of course.
Especially your dicks are very nice.
I really like
Oh
your
God,
flag.
Cress. Cress.
I should give you some tips to make them more realistic, I guess.
I agree you should.
Cress. Do we really need her drawing more realistic dicks all over the place?
I mean, it's better than not
Is it?
realistic dicks.
Are you sure?
If you enjoy good art, yes.
Sorry, but I
like
think I'm
really
fine.
atomically
And I mean,
correct.
she draws them anyway, so she can as well draw them realistically.
I can draw really good.
By the way, Vilna, just don't listen to what we're saying the whole time.
She's old enough to listen to what we're saying.
I don't think 11 is old enough.
11's when I found out about
I mean,
most
for a
of this
lizard,
shit.
for a lizard folk, it's kind of old enough.
Wait, you didn't know about dicks before you were 11?
You have
Jet,
one
I swear to
variant.
God. You're right, Jet. I was completely ignorant of bodily anatomy until I was 11.
Oh,
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know how I found out about it. I turned 11 and suddenly I understood everything. The knowledge of the world was open to me.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
I didn't know about beards until I was like 15.
beards.
Yeah, all the men and well, I guess there weren't any men.
I didn't know about beards.
monastery.
That's such a good sentence.
That's really interesting.
And I only knew them from the picture books.
I had a pretty normal childhood, and then I became part of a gang of street kids at about 11, so I very quickly learned many vulgar things and lots of swear words and all of that kind of stuff.
So, important question here, Jet.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been in one persona for a longer time? Or is it changing rapidly? Or was there a time when you've been like Jet for a couple days without changing?
Yeah, a couple of days, of course.
Because the question
When
is,
we first met.
so you've been able to. Grizzly was a part of you since the beginning, I guess. Because if you didn't know about beards, and if you would not shave Grizzly for 5 days, would he grow a beard, even though you didn't know anything about it before?
No, before I left the monastery, I was only Jet.
Okay. So the others came during your journey.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's interesting that you didn't know about beards, though. That's a weird thing to think about.
It's kind of funny, but I like it.
Well, there were only women at the monastery.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Beggar.
It's almost like you have two NPCs here who could join in at any moment, Beggar.
3 even.
3, you're right, 3 actually, so...
Half of them are busy
Well,
with
even though
work.
With work. I have to prepare the next session, just keep on going.
Listen, I'm having fun.
Not saying anything. I can interrupt you anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just
you can
saying.
So... You want to explore the world when we're done with this.
Well, I'm already exploring the world right now.
Well, you said you wanted to find... You remember the first time we played Truth, you said, I asked you if you could do anything, what would you like to do? And you said you'd like to explore unfound places.
Yeah.
So that's what she's doing now, I guess.
I think she meant safely, probably.
I mean, how safe can it ever really be? All
Safer?
pirates. 3 months.
I mean, this can't be like this forever.
I don't know.
You don't mind getting attacked constantly.
I mean, it's like traveling with you guys. And if you want to go to places no one else has been before, it's probably gonna be dangerous.
You kind of are going to a place you've never been before.
Yeah.
very true.
Oh,
Honestly, I
do
haven't
you want to
thought
go
about
to the
such things
Falklands
like
then also? I've heard quite a few stories about those.
Yes.
Can't imagine they're safe.
Yeah, very. And I mean, if she wants to go to the Falklands at some point, she can also just fight some sea monsters on the way. It's not gonna be less dangerous.
That would be fun.
Hopefully she has as good a crew as this one. Back her up.
And I also tried to talk to fight a giant. He didn't attack us. You were nice.
Fair enough. Honestly, I'm still caught up with everything that's happened. I haven't even thought about what I might do when all this is over. Seems unrealistic, you know?
Well, if you're so pessimistic about it.
I'm not pessimistic. I'm just, you know, focusing my energy on other things. What's the point in having, you know, a long... That sounds terrible.
I guess Marius could need some help with the kids. You could always teach them.
Teach them what?
Yeah, you seem to like
I
it.
mean, to live.
I do like Kid Serenity.
I know, I said that.
You've been grown up in a hard environment. You can help them.
I don't think I'd be a very good teacher.
You could teach them to not be you.
That
Perfect.
sounds like a good...
I think Wilda enjoys your teaching. Right, Wilda?
What did you say, Beggar?
I want Serenity to mark down a point of inspiration.
Yeah, does Vilda enjoy my teachings, Beggar?
Not at all.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, she shrugs, and then just says, I haven't really had any other teachers.
Father never taught you how to defend yourself.
Well, he was busy. A lot.
Well, you like the things Varian is teaching you more than the things I teach you, right?
Teaching her how to hit stuff.
Teach you how to hit stuff with magic.
She shrugs at that comment.
It's fine. I didn't really like training at first, when I first started it either. But I also think I had a very different teacher than you did.
We are all shaped by the people that teach us.
No, I've
Let's
been
not go there.
Good God.
very hardly
What?
trying not to be the person who taught me.
But we're all shaped by them. If you want to be like them or if you want to be different from them, still influence us.
So was it the monks that taught you to be a pacifist?
Yes.
Hmm.
But they also showed you how to punch people.
How to defend myself and well, it's not that much about punching people, it's just about finding your inner strength.
To punch people?
Sure.
Using your like reaching physical and spiritual
I see. By punching people.
You have to admit,
I'm trying to not punch people if it's not necessary, but
But you
guys,
know how to punch people very well.
Yeah, I know about the body. Like, to heal people, I need to know
how to
about
hurt them.
anatomy, and I also know.
She
You
only
guys
punches
are
people, so you stop
bad.
killing them. So
I mean, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. It's just a very interesting difference in viewpoint.
Yeah.
But I feel you've made some amount of progress, or perhaps you feel it's the opposite.
What do you mean?
You're just more likely, or you're more accepting of what needs to be done.
I don't know.
Mercy's a weakness, Jet.
Yeah, you're stupid.
I
Baby.
disagree.
Everything is a weakness if you don't use it right, not just mercy.
Fair enough, Mercy can be a strength in certain situations, but it's more likely to get you killed.
I've not been killed so far.
So far. You've come close.
Yeah, so have you.
Yeah, but you weren't there for that, so you don't get to comment on it.
And believe it or not,
I mean, she was there for that one time you almost died.
Was this the time when the guy shoved the sword, like, straight through my fucking body like I was made of paper?
I was gonna say the ship. Almost all of you died. I remember
Yeah.
Jet was the only one standing.
Yeah, exactly. The only one who
Also, Black
Okay, but
thinks
I-
mercy
Black
is
Tarek
the
also
strength.
got you with his like tentacle thingies.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but I didn't almost die there. I was just kind of, like, being strangled for a little bit.
Yeah, he could have killed you if he wanted to.
Listen,
I mean, yeah,
it was
he
just
could've-
some
yeah,
friendly
everything could've
joking,
killed
okay?
me.
Some people are into that.
So leaving behind obvious hentai, we should concentrate on.
What?
Maybe
What?
we should, after talking about sexual orientation, maybe we should talk about sexual, other sexual interests.
Right, well, if you're going to do
Go
that,
ahead.
I'm going to go to bed.
So what is so Rakesh? What's your kink? No, let's so let's stop
what's
this.
wrong
Yeah,
with-
Well, it's obviously
He's
booked,
fucking
so-
walking away.
Afraid of the conversation?
yeah, he's a bibliophile,
Yikes.
and he's just walking away. And there he goes.
That's a weird reaction.
I think it's kind of funny. What do you think, Serenity?
He's weird.
We've noticed.
Well, I should probably leave too.
What? No, you started this. You don't get to leave until you finish it.
No, Vilda.
She'll figure out this stuff eventually.
Yeah, but it's probably not the best if we have like this conversation.
Weren't you the one that was so angry about them reading dirty stories to Wilbur?
No, I was
and then
angry about them
using your name?
substituting my name for the characters.
You didn't know about that.
I as a player am frustrated. Listen, I as a player found out about this stuff at 11 too, so like I don't fucking see the problem.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not saying she shouldn't hear about sex. Just like maybe don't hear your your
If you
What's
want to
it
kick
called,
her out,
like-
that's up to you.
I mean,
your
she's already leaving.
your. I mean, you don't want to hear your parents talk about their kinks, so
Yeah. Okay.
Parent.
well, we're probably the closest. You don't want your teachers to tell you about their kinks.
Dude, the first person who told me about kinks was
I
a
run
nun,
after
like,
Rakesh. I try to calm him down, and I run after Rakesh.